Tuscaloosa to frenzy.
It's caught. It's caught by Isaiah Bond.
We talked about Alabama.
Reaches the college cut for the first time.
Heisman Memorial Trophy.
First soccer championship in sport. Alabama is still Alabama.
Roll Tide, everyone. I'm Roger Hoover, joined by Kinsey Hughes. And Kinsey, 2023 is starting to wind down, but we have a lot of exciting things to talk about it, including with this great set redecoration for the holidays. Good job.
Appreciate it. I do take pride in my redecorating. The elf on the shelf has made an appearance, and the Tide will be making an appearance in a Rose Bowl. We'll get to that later, because first, the Alabama football team is ready to return to practice in preparation of that game. The Crimson Tide returned to the practice field on Saturday as the Tide began their preparations for the college football playoffs and the Rose Bowl. The Crimson Tide will practice 7 times here in Tuscaloosa and then take a few days off for Christmas. Then on December 26th, the Tide will depart Tuscaloosa and fly to Los Angeles International Airport, also known as LAX, baby.
Team will have their first practice there on Tuesday, December 26th. Then the Crimson Tide will have a total of 5 practices in California with a final walkthrough on Sunday before the Rose Bowl matchup with Michigan on Monday, January 1st.
The 4th-seeded Crimson Tide will face the #1 overall seed Michigan Wolverines. It'll be Alabama's 8th appearance in the Rose Bowl. The Crimson Tide are 5-1-1 all-time in the Rose Bowl, and it'll also be the Tide's 6th meeting against Michigan. Alabama leads the all-time series over the Wolverines 3-2. The kickoff is set for 4 Central on New Year's Day in Pasadena on ESPN. And how did the Tide get there? Well, it was quite a journey, Roger.
Certainly was, Kinsey, as Alabama opened the season with a win over Middle Tennessee, but then the next week fell to Texas 34-24. From there, the Tide bounced back and battled through for a 17-3 win over South Florida the following week.
From there, the Tide kept rolling, finishing with a perfect 8-0 SEC record, including wins over Ole Miss, Texas A&M, Tennessee, and LSU. The Tide finished the regular season and saved their playoff hopes with an incredible come-from-behind victory over rival Auburn. This play will go down in history, Roger, as one of the greatest moments all time in Iron Bowl history.
I still can't believe it happened. Favorite moment of the year, 4th and 31. Alabama then took on the #1 ranked Georgia Bulldogs in Atlanta for the SEC Championship. Georgia had won 29 games in a row, but the Crimson Tide overpowered the Bulldogs for a 24-21 win. An incredible performance by the Tide as they earned the 30th SEC Championship in program history, more than any other school. So an incredible performance in that SEC championship game, and really an incredible performance by this team to reach the playoffs.
That it was, and it's been a fun journey from that loss in week 2 on to now the college football playoffs. You talk about growing as a team, look it up in the dictionary and you'll see this year's Tide team as the example. And with that great performance comes awards.
Tide had already received several SEC awards in this past week. Crimson Tide picked up several national honors as well. Dallas Turner, Kool-Aid McKinstry, and Terrion Arnold were named first-team All-Americans by the Associated Press. J.C. Latham was named to the second team, with Will Reichard and Caleb Downs earning third-team honors.
Dallas Turner was also named first-team All-American by the Football Writers Association of America, while J.C. Latham was named second-team All-American.
And Turner, Latham, and Kool-Aid McKinstry were also second-team All-Americans by the Walter Camp Football Foundation.
And for the second consecutive year, Will Reichard was selected to the Reese's Senior Bowl. This time, he'll compete as he looks to improve his stock for the upcoming NFL Draft.
Certainly a great career here for the Crimson Tide. Will made some big-time kicks during his time here playing for the Crimson Tide, including becoming the NCAA all-time scoring leader.
A big-time player, Raj, and you know who else are some big-time players? These guys right here are Crimson Tide in the NFL Players of the Week. Started off with Derrick Henry, as he found it tough to run against the Miami Dolphins defense with just 34 yards on Monday night. But Henry came up big when he was needed the most. Henry had 2 rushing touchdowns, including a 3-yard touchdown run for the game winner, as the Titans became the first team in the last 768 games to win after trailing by 14 points with under 3 minutes left in the game. Wow, that's why they call him King Henry, man.
Crown him. Also, Ronnie Harrison Jr. made a huge play to tie the score just before the half in the Colts-Bengals matchup. Harrison picked off the pass from Jake Browning and took it back 36 yards for the score and his second interception of the year.
And last but certainly not least, he was AFC Special Teams Player of the Week last week, and this week J.K. Scott broke the Chargers record for the longest punt in franchise history with an 83-yarder on Sunday. Scott averaged 57.4 yards per punt against the Denver Broncos. 83 yards, Roger? Just out of curiosity, it's 4th down. Coach Saban calls you down from the radio booth, and you got a punt. How far do you think that ball's going?
I mean, barely anything. I'd be lucky to even have the drop, hit my foot, and then go forward. But I'm just not going to do that. Coach Saban knows not to ask me. So with that, we can get to some information that was released this week, the Crimson Tide's 2024 football schedule.
With the addition of Texas and Oklahoma and doing away with divisions, you know next season is going to be filled with a lot of drama, and I am absolutely here for it.
Yes, it will. The Crimson Tide will play 5 games on the road and 7 at home. And for the first time since 2006, Alabama will open the season with 2 consecutive home games, as they'll host Western Kentucky on August 31st, followed by South Florida on September 7th.
Alabama will then travel to Big Ten country to take on the Wisconsin Badgers at Camp Randall Stadium on the 14th for the first part of the home-and-home series. Then it's the first of two bye weeks on the 21st, as the Tide will then prepare to host the Georgia Bulldogs to close out September on the 28th.
Bama hits the road to begin October as the Tide will travel to Nashville to take on the Vanderbilt Commodores on the 5th. A home game with South Carolina follows on the 12th before the 3rd Saturday in October tradition. It'll continue on October 19th with a trip to Knoxville to take on Tennessee. Alabama then closes out the month of October back at home as the Tide hosts the Missouri Tigers on the 26th.
After their second and final bye week of the season on November 2nd, Alabama travels to Baton Rouge to take on the LSU Tigers. After a matchup with Mercer and Bryant-Denny, the Tide hits the road once again, traveling to Norman, Oklahoma to take on the Sooners on November 23rd. Then, it's back home to close out the season as the Tide hosts Auburn for the annual Iron Bowl. So a lot of big-time matchups next season, Roger, and honestly, I'm not hating the 2 bye weeks.
Yeah, especially like it before the Georgia matchup. Also, Georgia and Auburn at home, Wisconsin, Tennessee, LSU, and Oklahoma on the road. It's going to be an exciting year. Some great road trips in there.
I was about to say, quite the away schedule, but you know what else is exciting? Championships, and you know, the crew works fast over at the Mount Moore Football Building. The new 2023 SEC Championship Trophy and plaque are already in place. Looks good, doesn't it, Roger?
It looks good, and we're just getting started here on Tide TV This Week.
Tide TV This Week is presented by the University of Alabama, where legends are made. Ford, visit your local Ford dealer, proud sponsor of the Crimson Tide.
Welcome back to Tide TV This Week. All throughout the season, we've had the opportunity to mic up several of Coach Saban's assistant coaches.
That we have, and as the Tide prepares for the college football playoffs and their Rose Bowl matchup, let's head out to the practice field with the Tide for a little best of all access with the Crimson Tide coaches.
Let's go. Let's go. Kick it up. Hey, what kind of day we gonna have today?
Great day.
Huh?
Great day.
This is what you gotta look forward to when you get old. This is my problem. I did them heavy squats.
I don't heavy squats, so you be heavy squats.
So my knees swell up like this. Don't bring your pads up. There you go. Stay down. Go through him. Good, Quinn. Pad level. Good. That's it. Good pad level. And strike out. That's it right there, dog. Do it again. Good job, Kurt. Sink. You feel it? Just sink your butt and you're in good shape, dog. Hurry up, man. You're going to make me grow hair.
That's impossible.
No, your face. You're hitting with your face first.
Oh, that's bad. Too long as 2 left shoes.
I'm the feds, yeah. I'm the feds today. Get away, yeah, get away. Hit that ass and go. Let's go. Let's go. Go get him now. Go get him now. Press him. Press him. Go get him out of bounds. Press. 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 Press him, man. Inside out. Press. Press. Come on, man. Stay inside out. That's a game rep right there for both of you. Say 2 feet. Sorry. Bring that on. Come get it. Come get it. Come get it. This is 2 gap and this wide. So my hands are here, right? Inside. It's hips, hands, feet, eyes, and I'm on over. Set. Hit. Strike. Eyes. Finish. Good. Hit. Finish. That's it. That's it.
The O-line coach shouldn't be mic'd up on Tuesday. I don't want to be mic'd up on Tuesday.
Quick. Back inside. Bend. Quick. 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 Play with base, Roby. Back inside. Quick. Good. There you go. Good. Good bend. Good bend. Right. Sit. Boom. Drive it. Good. One more time, Seth. Get it fit. Do it right. Sit. Go get it. Drive it. Right. There you go. On set. Next group. You're running around the block. So if this guy right here makes the play, Do we have a play? No. So what did I say to the first group? Get it what? Started.
Good. There you go. Key the ball. Isn't that beautiful? If you take an angle like that right now, you're making him have to take the ball inside. We don't really need to get as much width. It's really just stretch him a little bit, but get vertical. You know what I'm saying? All right. So know the look, hard stem, vertical. Good, that's it. That was. That's what we had talked about.
Yeah.
Get it up, Ty. Get it up, get it up. Yeah, I'm mic'd up. Get it up, Ty. Get it up, Ty. Take it all the way to the side. All the way to the side. There's my guy, 4-4. Great work day. How you want to feel on Saturday? Let's go. Have a little bit more coil, Robbie, like we're leaned into it, not just squatting down. There you go. Coil your back, lean into it a little bit with your face. Feet. Head. Good, that's it. Next group, next group. It's not just on the line of scrimmage. So again, it's a fine line between being too short coming off the ball and just running sideways and trying to reach the guy and going right down the line of scrimmage. Right, we're trying to get our hat slightly across, right through the middle of them, width and movement. Here we go. Good, get your pads down, Ty. Hey, and same thing, be careful about this. Opening up and crossing over and getting my hips pointed that way.
Get there, get there, get there. Let's go, guys. Let's work, let's work, let's work, let's work. Here we go. Work on making guys miss in space. All right, here we go. Be special. Way to go. Snatch it, snatch it, snatch it. Squeeze it. Pass down, good. Good job, you two. Here we go, 2-2. Be special right here. Work them, set them up. Good. That's it. Way to get him off his space. Attack. Close space. Set that stop. Good. Hey, good. Quick, easy, hands right. Close one more time. Good. Violent hands there, 2-6. Set, good, good. Hands. Punch, punch, punch. Good, good. That's 3D action right there, baby.
Welcome back to Tide TV this week. So we've covered the latest with the Crimson Tide football team. Now it's time to turn our attention to the hardwood and the Crimson Tide basketball teams.
First of all, the Alabama men's basketball team crossed the border this past weekend to face one of the top teams in the nation. The Tide traveled to Toronto to take on 4th-ranked Purdue and the reigning National Player of the Year, Zach Edey. Alabama started the game with an 8-0 run and knocking down their first 4 shots from beyond the arc. Crimson Tide never trailed in the opening 20 minutes of play and led by as many as 12 in the first half, as Bama led by 2 at the break, 49-47. The 49 points by the Crimson Tide were the most given up by the Boilermakers in a half all year.
The Tide started the second half with a 6-0 run and increased their lead to 9 on this tray from Mark Sears to make it 58-49. Bama with just over 16 minutes to go in the game. Purdue started chipping away at the Tide's lead and took their first lead of the game with a little over 11 minutes to go.
Alabama would retake the lead on another Mark Sears made 3-pointer with just under 5 minutes to play, but Purdue took the lead right back on a dunk by Zach Edey. Crimson Tide would cut and battle to the very end, but the Boilermakers duo of Edey as well as Braden Smith from beyond the arc combined for 62 points. After shooting 54% from beyond the arc in the first half, Tide connected on just 6 of 22 in the second half as Purdue defeated Alabama 92-86.
I mean, they're a good team. Shoot, they do a really good job. They got good players. Obviously, Zach Edey's leading candidate for National Player of the Year. You can see why. Tough cover. I mean, we didn't do a terrible job on him. He had 35 points. So he makes things difficult. You got to figure out what you're going to do. He gets the ball so deep. He's so big. And when you do double him, he's pretty good passing out of it. You can't foul him. He went 11-11 at the free throw line. He's good free throw shooter. So, I thought our kids fought, they battled. For the most part, we executed the game plan. We just had a little bit too many errors, and we got to step up to the free throw line, make some free throws. I mean, my tech cost us 2. I can't get it in a game like this. It's on me. But I thought our kids battled. Purdue's arguably best team in the country. They'll be right there at the end. And our kids went toe-to-toe with them for 40 minutes. We just got to figure out a way to get some wins.
Yeah, you know, it might not look it, but the defensive intensity was incredible, and the stars shine because Mark Sears scored a game-high 35 points. It's also his career best with the Crimson Tide.
So Alabama will continue this stretch of games against top 10 opponents over the next 2 ball games as the Crimson Tide will take on 8th-ranked Creighton on Saturday in Omaha and number 1 Arizona in Phoenix on Wednesday. Now, when we return, we'll stay with basketball. The Alabama women's basketball team as they played 2 games in Coleman over the weekend. That and more coming up next, right here on Tide TV This Week.
Welcome back to the Crimson Tide production studio inside of Bryant-Denny Stadium. He is Roger Hoover. I am Kenzie Hughes, and this is a very festive episode of Tide TV This Week.
Certainly love that, and the Alabama women's basketball team has gotten off to a great start this of the season with a 10-2 record. Their latest wins came in back-to-back days this past weekend here at Coleman Coliseum. On Saturday, the Crimson Tide hosted Stephen F. Austin. It was a close match at the half as the Crimson Tide led by just 2 at the break, 33-31. The Lady Jacks took the lead in the third period, outscoring Bama 21-16 to take a 3-point lead going into the final period. But the Crimson Tide got hot in the final 10 minutes of play.
They did indeed, as they shot 75% from the floor, including 3 of 5 from beyond the arc to secure the 74-69 win over the Lady Jacks. Aaliyah Nye and Sarah Ashley Barker each scored over 20 in the contest. Nye finished with a game-high 22, and Barker had 2 to go along with 8 assists and 7 rebounds.
Just told our team, you know, most coaches, oh, you can learn a lot from a loss because that's what you say. But yeah, I think you can learn just as much from a win. So I just am so proud of our team's toughness and character down the stretch, making shots, getting stops, making the right decisions on both sides of the ball. You know, I thought we had some people really step up defensively, and we got critical stops, and today's going to make us a lot better. I think we can learn a lot from today.
On Sunday, the Samford Bulldogs made the short drive from Homewood to take on the Crimson Tide, and it was the Alabama defense that really controlled the tempo. Alabama turned 6 turnovers into 12 points, outscoring Samford 22-6 in the opening period, holding the Bulldogs to just 22% shooting from the floor.
Up 33-22 at the break, the Tide closed out the game, outscoring the Bulldogs 36-17 for the 30-point win, 69-39. Aaliyah Nye and Loyal McQueen had 11 each, and Meg Newman recorded her first double-double in almost a year. She finished with 10 points and 11 rebounds.
I think every coach in America feels like right now the biggest room in the house is room for improvement. There's so many little things that we have to work on, and I think it's really good for us this week to be able to take a deep breath and focus on more us and, you know, a scouting report and the things that we need to do, and then we'll get in our regular scout routine next week, 2 days out. So, you know, when we go in and we're playing a really good Louisiana Monroe team that, my goodness, you know, they took Arkansas to the wire at Arkansas, and they've had a lot of transfers, and you know, it's going to be a tough test for us here as we end the stretch before Christmas with the next 2 games. So we need to focus the first couple of days this week on Alabama getting better and really working on a few areas that we need to shore up a little bit.
Stay with us. We'll have our plays and players of the week coming up next.
Tide TV This Week is presented by the University of Alabama, where legends are made. Ford. Visit your local Ford dealer. Proud sponsor of the Crimson Tide.
Alabama forcing the stop.
Sears, step back 3. Give it to him.
Deflection leads to the steal.
Sears, a 3 on the way is perfect. Mark Sears with a big first 3-pointer.
This has been an adventure. Sears, another! Come on, Mark Sears against Edie. How about this matchup?
Yeah, he made a fall. Boy, that is just an unbelievable move by Mark Sears.
Here we go. From the corner, yes, sir!
But he took pin in all game long, whether it's on or off the ball. There's that flare again, and there's an open shot.
And he's got it. Again off the flare.
Big stop by Alabama.
Here comes Barker, out to Nye. She'll fire, and hit again! Wow! Big buckets! Active hands, Sarah Ashley Barker. The steal, the score for SS.
Welcome back. So those were our plays of the week, brought to you by Legacy of Hope. And Roger, now it's time for our players of the week.
And that is Kinsey, and we've got a trio of Crimson Tide hoop stars this week. Starting with that amazing performance from Mark Sears north of the border. Playing against the 4th-ranked Purdue Boilermakers, Sears totaled 35 points as he shot 50% from beyond the arc, knocking down 8 of 16 shots.
Back in T-Town, Aaliyah Nye led the Tide, scoring in double figures in both wins this past weekend. Nye finished with 22 points, 4 rebounds, and 3 steals in the win over Stephen F. Austin. And against Samford, Nye finished with 11 points, 3 rebounds, a block, and a steal, filling up the sheet.
Absolutely, and in that win over Samford, Meg Newman recorded her first double-double in almost a year as she finished with 10 points and 11 rebounds. Newman connected on 5 of 7 from the floor and added 3 assists.
A dynamic addition from the transfer portal from Christy Curry, and a great show, Roger, but guess what? Next week is our Christmas episode, so that will be fun, and we'll have a lot of exciting features planned, including some more decor. So you don't want to miss that.
Certainly don't. I already like the lights that we have on the monitor. That's certainly good. So roll Tide to that. We hope to see you back here next week for another edition of Tide TV This Week.
Roll Tide, everybody. See you next week.
Roll Tide.
This has been a presentation from Learfield,